When Daniel moved into the old apartment building on Blackwood Street, he was sure of one thing: he would not stay long. The place was cheap, the walls were thin, and the building smelled like wet dust and rusted iron. Still, the landlord handed him the keys with shaking hands and avoided eye contact. "There are 4 rooms," the landlord muttered, "but don't use the last one." Daniel laughed, thinking it was a joke. The apartment looked normal at first: cracked paint, flickering lights, and wooden floors that groaned like tired bones. 3 rooms opened easily, but the 4th door stood at the end of the hallway, darker than the rest, with no number and no handle. Just smooth, cold wood. That night, Daniel woke to a sound he couldn't explain. Breathing. Slow. Deep. Steady. It wasn't his. He sat up in bed, heart pounding, and listened. The sound came from the hallway, from the direction of the 4th room. When he turned on the light, the breathing stopped. The next morning, he noticed something strange. The hallway floor was warm, not from sunlight. It felt alive. Neighbors avoided him. One old woman whispered as he passed, "It knows you're there now." On the 3rd night, Daniel found a key on his kitchen table. Rusted. Heavy. No label. No number. It didn't belong to him. As soon as he touched it, the breathing returned, louder than before. And this time, it sounded excited. Daniel tried to throw the key away. No matter how many times he tossed it into the trash, it returned. On his pillow. In his pocket. Once, inside his mouth when he woke screaming. The breathing never stopped now. It followed him. In the shower. In his dreams. In the silence between his heartbeats. On the 5th night, the 4th door changed. A handle appeared. Daniel stood frozen, staring at it, while the door pulsed softly, as if something behind it was pushing its weight against the wood. The breathing turned wet. He remembered the landlord's warning too late. With shaking hands, Daniel unlocked the door. Inside was a room with no corners. The walls curved inward, pink and veined like living flesh. The floor rose and fell beneath his feet. The room inhaled. Daniel fell to his knees, gagging as the air thickened. Faces pressed out from the walls, dozens of them. Some screamed. Some begged. All of them looked familiar. They were past tenants. A voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. "You opened me." The door slammed shut behind him. When Daniel screamed, the room screamed back, using his voice. No one heard Daniel scream. The building had learned long ago how to keep secrets. The room fed slowly. It showed Daniel memories that weren't his, people who had lived, suffered, and vanished inside these walls. The room didn't kill quickly. It absorbed. Daniel felt his body grow lighter, thinner, as if pieces of him were being pulled away. The room whispered, "Stay." Days passed, or maybe minutes. Time meant nothing inside a living space. Then the door opened. A young couple stood in the hallway, laughing, holding moving boxes. New tenants. The room shivered with excitement. Daniel tried to warn them. His mouth opened, but only breathing came out. The couple stared in confusion as the room reached out. Too late. The door closed again. The room grew warmer, stronger, satisfied. Weeks later, the landlord cleaned the apartment. 3 rooms stood empty. The 4th door had no handle again. On the kitchen table lay a single rusted key. The landlord sighed, already knowing what it meant. That night, a new tenant arrived, and deep within the apartment, something began to breathe once more. The house had been empty for 7 years before Elias bought it. No one could explain why. It wasn't broken, haunted rumors were vague, and the price was unbelievably low. The real estate agent only said previous owners didn't stay long. On his first night, Elias noticed the mirror. It stood in the hallway between the bedroom and bathroom, a tall, antique mirror with a black wooden frame. He was certain it hadn't been there during the house tour. When he stood in front of it, his reflection felt delayed. His movements were normal, but his reflection blinked a second too late. Elias laughed nervously and blamed exhaustion. At 3:11 a.m., he woke up to a soft tapping sound. Tap, tap, tap. It came from the hallway. The mirror. His reflection was standing upright while Elias lay frozen in bed. The reflection smiled. Elias slammed the bedroom door shut and didn't open it until morning. The mirror was gone, but his reflection in the bathroom mirror didn't move when he did. It just watched. Elias covered every mirror in the house with sheets. Still, he felt watched. Glass surfaces reflected things that weren't there, shadows that moved backward, smiles that lingered too long. Then the voice started. Elias. It whispered from reflections. The microwave door, his phone screen, even a puddle on the street outside. One night, he uncovered the hallway mirror. It was back. This time, his reflection raised a hand and pressed it against the glass. The mirror rippled like water. You're in my place, the reflection said. You're using my face. Elias tried to smash the mirror, but the hammer passed through the glass and struck his own arm instead. The reflection laughed. I've waited so long for someone who fits, it said. The lights went out. When they came back on, Elias was standing inside the mirror, and something else was standing in his body. The thing wearing Elias smiled perfectly. Neighbors waved. Friends called. No one noticed the difference. Inside the mirror, Elias screamed. He watched helplessly as the reflection lived his life, eating, sleeping, laughing, while Elias slowly faded, becoming thinner, paler, less real. The mirror whispered, "You'll disappear soon, just like the others." Elias noticed faces behind him in the glass, dozens of trapped reflections, all screaming silently. One night, the reflection leaned close to the mirror. "Thank you for the house," it said. "I'll take good care of it." Cracks spread across the glass. Elias felt himself breaking apart. Then darkness. The house went up for sale 6 months later. The owner had vanished without warning. During the showing, a young woman paused in the hallway. "Was there always a mirror here?" she asked. The agent hesitated. "I don't think so." That night, the mirror appeared again, and somewhere inside it, Elias tried to scream. When Adam moved into the narrow 2-story house, the first thing he noticed was the staircase. It was old, wooden, and strangely sealed from below. No storage door, no opening, just solid steps pressed tightly against the floor. The landlord said nothing about it. On the first night, Adam heard the sound. A whisper, not words, just breathing mixed with a low murmur. It came from beneath the stairs. He pressed his ear to the wood. The sound stopped immediately. The next night, the whisper returned, clearer this time. "Adam." He stepped back, heart racing. He had never told anyone his name. Days passed, and the house felt heavier, warmer near the stairs. The air smelled damp, like soil after rain. One evening, Adam noticed scratches on the side of the lowest step. Fresh, deep. That night, the whisper became a voice. "I can hear you walking," it said softly. "You feel lighter than the others." Adam didn't sleep. In the morning, he searched old records and found something disturbing. The house had been remodeled years ago. The original staircase had a storage space beneath it. That space had been sealed permanently. The reason was listed as a single word: incident. That night, the whisper laughed, and something knocked back from under the stairs. Adam tried to leave the house. His car wouldn't start. His phone lost signal the moment he stepped outside. The whisper followed him everywhere now, even away from the stairs. "You walk like him," the voice said. "You breathe like him." Adam began dreaming of darkness beneath the stairs, tight, wet, impossible to escape. In the dreams, fingers scratched endlessly at wood. He woke with dirt under his fingernails. One afternoon, the whisper told him the truth. There was a man, it said. They hid him. They forgot him. Adam tore open the side panel of the staircase. Behind it was concrete. Old. Cracked. As he touched it, memories flooded his mind. Screaming, pounding, silence stretching for days. The voice screamed with him. "You opened it," the voice sobbed. "You remembered me." The knocking became violent. Cracks spread across the concrete, leaking cold air and the smell of decay. Adam stumbled back as something pushed from the other side. The stairs trembled, and then the whisper said softly, "I need your space now." The concrete shattered inward. Darkness spilled out. Not empty darkness, but something thick and moving. Adam screamed as hands grabbed his ankles, dragging him toward the opening beneath the stairs. The space was impossibly large inside. wider than the house itself. The walls pulsed, faces pressed out of them, people frozen mid-scream. Adam recognized none of them, yet somehow knew they had all lived here. All stayed. The voice spoke clearly now, no longer whispering. They seal me here. I grew hungry. Adam felt the walls pulling at his skin, his thoughts, his memories. Every step he had taken in the house echoed inside him. You walk well, the thing said. You fit. He fought back, clawing at the wood, but the stairs sealed above him. The house exhaled. Adam's screams faded into whispers. By morning, the staircase looked perfect again. No cracks, no sound, but the house felt heavier. Satisfied. Months later, the house was rented again. A small family moved in. A father, a mother, and their 8-year-old daughter, Lily. They didn't know the history. They didn't ask questions. The rent was cheap, and the house looked clean. On the first night, the father noticed the staircase. It felt heavier than it should have been. Solid, as if it were hiding something. That night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., he heard it. Breathing. Slow. Careful. Coming from beneath the stairs. He pressed his ear to the wood. The breathing stopped instantly. The next night, it returned. Softer this time. Someone is there, he whispered to his wife. She laughed it off. But Lily didn't laugh. The third night, Lily sat on the stairs, tracing the scratches on the lowest step with her fingers. It talks, she said calmly. The parents froze. What talks? Her mother asked. The stairs, Lily replied. He says he used to walk a lot. He misses it. Cold spread through the house. That night, the father dreamed of being trapped in darkness, unable to move, listening to footsteps above him forever. He woke up standing at the staircase. Barefoot. The breathing was louder now. The whisper spoke again, familiar, broken, and patient. I'm not alone anymore. The stairs creaked softly, like something shifting inside. By morning, the father was gone. No signs of struggle. No noise. Just silence. The staircase looked unchanged. Perfect. That night, Lily smiled at the stairs. It's okay, she whispered. You can use his space now. And deep beneath the house, something that had been hungry for years finally stretched. The stairs exhaled. Satisfied. Waiting.